why is it called Texas Tested Seeds? Because I used to live in Texas. I'm born and raised in Mississippi.
Okay.
But I moved to Texas in the 90s, early 90s, and started farming out there, and then retired 5 years ago and moved back to Mississippi because I had to get away from Texas. I'd had enough. But I went to Mississippi State here, did a bachelor's in horticulture, did my master's in weed science and plant pathology, started a doctorate in insect toxicology, but never got any further. Work got in the way. I worked all my life on research farms. I started out in herbicide research with several, herbicide companies, and then became a plant breeder, which kind of leads me into being a seed person. But at any rate, I farmed for 35 years in Texas, and the tagline for my company is, if it'll grow in Texas, it'll grow anywhere. And that is, now, y'all, I mean, you can throw the seeds now in the ground here, and they'll grow and just be happy, but in Texas, no, nothing is happy, and nothing wants to grow there. 35 years, I did a truck farm, and fed, I had a CSA, I don't know if y'all know what a CSA is, where people subscribe, and families come pick up. Well, I had a 150 member CSA, and I was the biggest CSA in Texas for a long, long time. It was just a lot of work, and I mean, for the most part, it was just me. For a while, I had to do other people. For the most part, it was just me. So I learned a lot over those 35 years, and with my technical background, that is why I'm such a technical grower. And I mean, everything matters. Daphne can tell you. I ask her, what's the soil temperature? What's the pH? We test everything, because science doesn't lie. That's the important thing about growing, is that you pay attention to every input that you put into your crops. So, and I learned that the hard way more times than I can tell you. And every little thing I'm learning, I learn as I'm trying to pass on to y'all. Daphne had a huge problem last year with flea beetles. She went home on a Friday and came back on Monday, and her entire tunnel was gone.
Oh.
Because of flea beetles. Well, there's great new biologicals coming out now, Bavaria bassiana, but she couldn't use it last year. It kills flea beetles. Let me just make it simple. And a lot of other beetles as well. But she couldn't use it last year because they were certified organic. But this year, since they're not certified, they can use biologicals. And I'm going to do a thing on Bavaria bassiana tomorrow. But at any rate, today I want to talk to you about doing seed selection for hot growing. And as we know, the data shows us our summers are getting hotter and hotter. So, I'm just going to read this because I wrote this last night, and I want to use it. Sure. The data is clear. Our summers are getting hotter, and water is becoming increasingly precious. The days of planting based purely on the varieties we've always planted are done. We've got to plan what we plant now. We've got to use varieties that are proven and tested in areas like Texas, where nothing likes to grow. Just last year, I know y'all know this, USDA adjusted its plant hardiness map, which shows the average winter temperatures have warmed, causing many areas to shift to a warmer zone, with about half the country moving up by half a zone. The new map is more accurate than the previous one from 2012, as it uses the past 30 years of data. And so it shows us really warming up a lot. But here in Mississippi, I believe we moved from 8A to pretty mostly 8B, to 8B to most of North Mississippi, and the southern part is 9A. So, but we can no longer afford to fight the environment. We got to work with it. So that means selecting varieties that are meant to grow in heat, and there's a lot of them. There's 5 things that go into selecting a variety. First one is drought resistance. The most obvious challenge, even here in Mississippi, we've been having lots of droughts lately where we didn't used to have them. So we've got to start looking into varieties that are more drought resistant. And sunlight resistance is a big one. We're breeding plants now that have thicker leaves, more tomatoes with more trichomes, which helps with drought resistance because they don't transpire as much. These are all important aspects that you need to be looking at when you plant a variety now. Adaptability to soil conditions, just like she's talking about soil pruning. We're breeding plants. A lot of the varieties we offer now have deeper and better root systems than they did 10 years ago. So those are the varieties, once again, you need to be planting. And, you know, I've tried them all. That's what I do. Once again, foliage characteristics. We're breeding plants now that have thicker leaves. Once again, like I said, more trichomes. Cuticle. You know, waxy cuticles on leaves. We're getting into that now in all kinds of varieties, of vegetable varieties. But the biggest thing we're doing now is breeding. We're breeding for hotter futures. Let me think here. Let me get down here to where it's important. Pollen sterility. How many of y'all know about pollen sterility? But what plant breeders nowadays are doing, they use mapping. It's not GMO, but they've mapped watermelons and peppers and tomatoes. And so they know which plants will cross on other plants to create a more heat resistant variety. And so they're leaping ahead by 5 years. Probably could take 15 years to develop a new variety, but nowadays they're doing it in about 5, which is amazing. But that's basically what my company is all about, is selling heat resistant varieties that I have tested. That's really all there is to it. And I'm better at answering questions than I am at speaking. So, you know, ask questions.
So you're located in Texas?
No, I'm located in Louisville, Mississippi now.
Oh, Louisville, Mississippi. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I thought about changing the name. But honestly, my biggest business is in Texas.
Yeah.
And so, but everybody knows I'm here now. So, but I still test and trial varieties every year. That last year I trialed 70 varieties of tomatoes. So, but and probably only 20 made it to my catalog because they're just not good enough. So, yes ma'am.
I was trying to keep up.
Yeah, okay.
Can I find all of this also on your page that kind of goes into the different...
Yeah, I mean, you'll have to do a search because I post lots of stuff every day because I can't help myself.
That's fine too.
I'm a researcher at heart and I love to know.
Because you were saying a lot of good stuff, but you know, I'm trying to listen, but then I want to jot it down, then I try to record,
Let's go back. What do you have a question about? Let's go back.
Well, even as you speak about the seeds and finding the best variety of seeds in your environment.
Right.
So, you know, I'm letting you know now I am a new beginner farmer.
We all are.
Trying to find my way.
That's good.
So,
that's very good.
You know, and that was one of the things that I was, thinking about. There's so many different varieties out there. What's going to be the best fit for where I'm at right now in my space?
Yep.
And now that I have you and with your expertise, I'm just like, okay, I want to take all of that in.
And always feel free to reach out to me.
Okay.
I mean, you can get me through my Facebook Messenger.
I sure will.
And I'll do everything I can because, there's a lot of things that technically, since you're doing hydroponics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Around. And lots of varieties that are going to be better for you than others. Are you growing mostly lettuces or greens?
Yes, and specialty herbs, things like that. But I still want to get into these socks if I'm being honest now. You would open up a whole nother thing for me. But right now, starting off and just where I'm at now, my main focus is hydroponics. But I still want to get into raised beds, maybe get into the socks method and all of that. I want to do it all. But I'm trying to brace myself and just pace.
Been there, done that. Trust me. Everything you're going to go through, I've already gone through it.
Yes.
Every mistake you're going to make, I've already made them.
Oh, wow.
I've made so many mistakes. And I still make mistakes every year. And I learn something. I've learned so much today from everybody. You learn something new every year. Every day.
She knows I text her 10 times a day. I've been farming since 2013, and I promise, I feel like I don't know anything. And I learn every day, and I told her she just needs to put a little book out for her.
I've been thinking about it. Right now, I don't have a lot of time. But I've been shipping strawberries because now's the time to plant strawberries if nobody knows it.
That's fine.
This is when you plant strawberries.
You do your own strawberry?
A lot of it I do.
Wow. Wow.
And then I brought in garlic because there's certain garlics that do great in the heat. In our area, you got to grow a soft neck.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I like the demonstration that Daphne gave about the garden sock. If we're starting out, my wife and I starting out this, what would you recommend if we tried the garden sock situation? What would you recommend that we would start off growing?
Well, the great thing about our area is we can grow year round.
Right.
So you've got another important thing about selecting varieties is okay, some varieties are meant to grow in the fall. Let's say collards, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts, things of that nature. Some are meant to grow in the fall, some are meant to grow in the spring. You can't just go, oh, I'm going to plant this here. Well, you can, but you're going to fail. The thing is now, if we're going to plant them right now, there are fall varieties, and and plant breeders, we call those long day and short day varieties, because we're moving from summer into fall. And then a short to long day variety is when you plant in the spring. And there are, we're looking at probably 200 cauliflower varieties, and 20 of them are meant for fall, 20 of them are meant for spring, and the rest of them are meant for California, so forget those. But it depends on the time of year that you start. And knowing what time of year and knowing what varieties that you're going to plant in that year. And then you move into your winter stuff. And another thing I want to say about it, in the summer, or if you're growing, for instance, Brussels sprouts, to me there's only one Brussels sprout variety that is suitable for the South, and that is J. Cross-E. And that is because it matures more quickly than any of the other varieties. In the South, we need to choose winter varieties that mature quickly. Cabbages, we don't want to plant a 105-day cabbage. You want to plant an 60 to 80-day cabbage. Also remember that if you're growing in the fall and winter, if it says 60 days maturity, it's really going to take 85, because your days are shorter in the fall. You don't get what we call growing degree days.
Right.
Which is a real technical term, but every beginning farmer needs to know what growing degree days are. If you'll go on my Facebook page and search for GDD, growing degree days, I have done several posts on that as well.
You got some cards with you?
I'm not that organized.
Get your Facebook page out.
Yeah.
Get your Facebook.
Everything's on the Facebook.
This is tested seed.
Texas tested seeds and plants.
What a resource.
Is next.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.